One of the interesting things that I read about you was that you do a lot of work with, back in 2008, you worked with the USO and did some tours of some bases in Iraq. You know,
Right, we did that last year. We've actually done a lot of touring of bases. We did Asia in 2005. We did Guantanamo early last year, and then we did Iraq and Kuwait last year.
and how were you received?
Well, amazingly well. I mean, it's, we're playing on the bases, and it's not like we're playing for the Iraqis. Even though we did play one show where the Iraqis were right next door, and they started dancing. It was the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Wow.
Because their cadence system doesn't run in the 2 and 4 like ours does. It's not a 4/4 time signature.
Right.
So they move on like quarter beats and off beats and stuff like that. And it looked like they were undulating like fish. It was the craziest thing. They were dancing to we're playing like Heroin Girl, like an old punk rock song. They were losing it. They were on a rooftop next to us. These cadets. They were cadets for the Iraqi police force. It was. We've got film of it. I've got like 50 hours of film of tape.
Well, maybe that's the secret, man. Maybe we send you over to Afghanistan and play for the Taliban. I think everybody will throw down their weapons then. I mean, come on.
Yeah, they won't cut my head off.
You did
until they torture me.
You did a solo acoustic tour in 2009 for a charity called Musicians on Call.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I did that's a really good organization, and it was basically through the Hard Rock Cafe. It was a tour of Hard Rock cafes, and it was their music month, and it was their benefit, and they asked me to be the standard bearer of that because I was looking to do a solo tour. And I went out and basically, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, is me with screens behind me and videos and stuff, and me just kind of telling stories and talking a lot of smack, basically. And then singing songs, telling stories about that led up to the song, and then doing the song. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty unique. And I'm doing a tour right now, a solo tour called the Open Wings Broken Strings Tour, which is me, Ed Kowalczyk from Live, and Lee Nash from Sixpence None the Richer. And it sounds like a pretty eclectic mix of people, but it actually works.
Right.
It really works.
Sounds interesting.
It's
So what kind of show can we expect tonight?
Tonight's a rock show.
Okay.
Full on rock and roll, loud guitars, just balls to the wall.
You want acoustic? Go to the CD. Buy the CD. What else? What's the future hold for you guys?
Well, we're doing this now. We're touring.
Short West Coast tour. It
Yeah.
takes us into where after this?
Probably, I go home for Thanksgiving, cook a turkey, and then go back out. We're looking at going back out in December. We're trying to set up dates there. January, some more dates. Some more
More club
touring.
type of...
Yeah, it's clubs. That's where the business is at right now, man. It's just, I know big bands that are just touring way below what they normally would. The recession has hit every aspect of our society.
Well, I remember going to shows and going to like the HP Arena or those were like the standard, right? If you could pack one of those, and then it turned into, okay, about a half of there, we won't sell the upstairs, and now it's like into more like the Fillmore and the Warfields and the Independent.
Well, the Warfield. I mean, we were selling out the Warfield until about 4 or 5 years ago, and then we were doing the Fillmore after that. But I know that I just feel super, without sounding cheesy, blessed and just grateful that I get to play music for a living. I get to play rock and roll, and people come to our shows and really like it and sing the lyrics, and I'm just very lucky.
I mean, you've done it. I mean, really, you're right. You've been doing this about 15 years.
Yeah, I don't have anything to prove to anybody. I'm having a great time, and I do exactly what I want to do. I don't do what anybody tells me to do. I'm living the dream. I really am. I always have. I've never sold out in my mind. I've never done anything I didn't want to do. That wasn't my idea of doing something cool. And regardless what that was, and that's the secret. If you can get through life, it's like going to jail. If you can go to prison and do your time clean without getting, raped, You win.
Well, I mean, that is another interesting thing. Your fan base seems to, you got a lot of new fans coming up.
Young fans. Yeah, like people are 18 years old singing the lyrics who were like in diapers when Sparkle and Fake came out. I know it's a trip. It's a real trip. What I really think it is that their parents and their big sisters and brothers and uncles and stuff turned them on to it, and they were little kids riding around in the car listening to Everclear, and that's why they know the words to songs like "You Make Me Feel Like a Whore." These are kids who were born in the Reagan years, man. That's a whole different generation.
Well, I mean, it goes. I mean, with my big black boots and an old suitcase, I mean, that's all you got to know. I mean, that you guys got a great sound.
Well, thanks, man. It's basically the blues, It's the white man's blues.
Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking the time out. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely, we are looking forward to it. This is Jeff with Stubble Music Scene, taking you out.